Well, as Deacon Jim said in the announcements, it's February. Happy February. February for me is the realization that my birthday is coming up. And this particular birthday, what I like about my birthday is when it's over, because then, as Deacon Jim also mentioned, pitchers and catchers start to report. And that means that spring is almost here. WashU baseball is almost here. I can just walk up the street and watch some good ball club, be able to take down teams I've never heard of before, like Coe and Milliken. I've heard of Milliken. But this year in particular, I'm met with the fact that I'm turning 40. Many of you have already met this milestone, and you seem well-adjusted. So it seems like I've got some good hope that I might be able to make it through 40. Because, all the different things that you hear about over the hill and midlife crisis. And as I thought about that as a kid when my parents were turning 40, I really thought to myself, good God, how old are they? And now I look at 40, and my friends and I talk about somebody, God rest her, Catherine O'Hara passing away. I'm not okay, friends. But we're like, oh, she was 71. And then right after that, the comment, my friends and I, she was so young. I did not think that a couple of years ago. So 71, 40, all of these different things. It's made me kind of ask myself this question, especially in the cold, especially when I can't go out and do things that maybe I would like to do. My question I keep asking myself is, are you happy? Are you happy? And I think about the things that make me happy. Good meal, a good time with friends, maybe going to see a show or see a game. I was able to do both this week. That was great. My sister wanted to go to a band named Couch. I was like, whatever. So ran into some CSC people there. I was like, yes, I am cool after all. Went to the basketball game. It was my dad's Christmas present, SLU versus Dayton. SLU won by 30 points. It's like, yes, good son. Really had a good time. But I think about those things. Those are things that make me happy on a surface level. After those things are done, there are times where I'm not as happy as those moments. And I have to ask myself, why? Does that mean that I'm not pleased or that I'm not grateful? Not necessarily. But I think that happiness, the way that we think about it, is something that ebbs and flows. I remember what it was to see the Cardinals win Game 6 in 2011. I've talked about this before. And just the sheer elation of seeing David Freese win almost everything for us. Had to go in for Game 7 the night before. Or even 2019, the Blues winning the Stanley Cup finally. There was this great moment. I was like, yes. When I leave a golf course and I haven't been kicked off it because I'm such a bad golfer, those are good moments that I enjoy. But they fade. So am I happy? There are times in my life where I'm not happy. I met with a student this week who says, I don't know if I can watch TV anymore because I don't know what is true. That didn't make me happy. It made me concerned. It made me frustrated, not at the student, of course, but at this great project that we have called America. When I see headline after headline, that just frustrates me because it's, no, you're doing it all wrong. And I don't mean one party or another. I mean, in general, we've lost the thread, as it were. It doesn't make me happy. I'm upset. But does that mean that I'm not grateful or that I'm not good? It does not mean that. So we have to wrestle with this as Christians, even maybe coming here and finding a place of welcome, or being able to know in your Christian life that there is a God that loves you and that is taking care of you. Does that mean that you're always happy? It does not. I don't know if you're aware of this, but on our altar here, we have a sheet where we pray for those who are in our community sick or otherwise affected and that are not perfectly happy at the moment. And I look at this sheet right before we begin the Eucharistic prayer. And sometimes week in and week out, there's new names, but oftentimes it's the same names because there's a unhappiness in illness or some other distress that hasn't gone away. How do you meet happiness when you're carrying such a heavy cross? This is what's hard about living in a broken and hurting and fallen world. And yes, maybe you're like, okay, 40, calm down. Life is not that bad. And you're right. Life is tremendously beautiful. I mentioned the ski trip a couple weeks ago. I was talking with a buddy yesterday who was on the ski trip, and I said, I have not laughed so hard. Like, it hurt. It hurt more than the skiing, just how funny it was to be. And I was genuinely happy. And thinking about that moment made me happy all over again, because then I got to make fun of that guy, right? Spending time with our undergraduates and grad students and just hearing the amazing things that are happening in their lives, and maybe sometimes being a part of just moving the needle a little bit in the right direction, like that makes me so pleased. There's so much good that's going on, even in the midst of so much hardship. And I think that's what Jesus wants to entice us to believe in faith, that the deeper happiness that's available to us comes from Him. Let's call that fulfillment. Let's call that peace. Let's call that eternal happiness. And that's what the gospel this week and in the next couple of weeks are inviting us to believe and live out. Jesus goes up the mountain. Very important when we see Jesus go up the mountain, He's got something to say. He's up there, but then what happens? He sits down. Because in the posture of the day, there was the Jewish rabbi would sit down and teach his people. And he looks out on the crowds and he invites them to seek deeper happiness. And he gives us the Beatitudes today, which I don't know about you, but like the first time you hear the deacon proclaim the gospel and you're like, blessed are the, and you're like, okay, I'm good, I'm good. Maybe kind of checking out. But I would invite you to think about blessedness as the literal translation of what it means as happy. Happy are those who do these things, who hunger and thirst for righteousness, who are pure or clean of heart, who are those who are willing, even in the midst of all of the opposition, to be persecuted for the sake of such righteousness. Blessed are those who mourn. I don't want to mourn. But if I can mourn with Jesus, maybe I can find a deeper happiness. If I find the love that Jesus wants to give me, maybe I can be merciful and come out of myself because I know that that's what will truly satisfy. Following Jesus can make you really happy. But it will mean that as Jesus changes your life, that just by the very concept of it, you're going to have to change. And I recognize that maybe the moments in my life where I'm not happy have to do with the areas where I haven't let Jesus make His changes. And He's so patient and loving and accommodating that He wants to walk with me and you into our new years or into new seasons or through new things that we're experiencing that maybe we never thought we'd have to. Jesus wants to carry us through those things, and He respects our freedom to be able to say, I'm willing to make those changes in hopes of deeper happiness. So that's what I invite you to reflect on today, and maybe kind of as we're preparing for Lent, and to think, Lent or 40? I think I'm going to choose 40 over Lent, but to choose and to be able to reflect on, what is it that really makes me happy? And to think about all those things, kind of the superficial cup of coffee, good times, like those are good things. They're not superficial, I shouldn't say that. I mean surface level. And list those things out and have gratitude for them. But then notice, what are the things that bring deep down happiness to my life? What are the things that really satisfy long term? And how is Jesus trying to affect my life and draw me closer to make changes to reflect what it is to live out Matthew 5, these Beatitudes? It means that we have to recognize that we can't stay the same. It means that we have to allow the Lord to be the Lord. And sometimes it means that we set aside some of these happiness in search for the deeper ones. I think that there's beautiful things that await us if we trust Jesus, that He is the one that can satisfy.